What's up, tribe? Let's go ahead and get into our Big Brother update for the week. I didn't do an individual one this week, because y'all know my situation. But I'm gonna go ahead and just give y'all a sum up of how things went down this week. So we left off with Caitlyn winning the head of household, right? Now remember that I knew that was gonna be some shiggity when it happened, because Caitlyn was originally with Christopher, aka Swaggy C, and all the mother folk, but Tyler had been able to manipulate her and convince her to vote to get rid of the cop out of the house. And remember, she was supposed to be voting with Swaggy, and them was her alliance. So I knew it was gonna be some old shiggity, because she was the swing vote, and everybody was trying to figure out, well, who voted. They thought they had the numbers locked up, and they were like, well, who voted for him over Sam, and kept Sam in the game, even though it really didn't matter. Sam would have stayed in the game, because remember, she's got that power app thing. So Swaggy and Winston get into this little beef over nothing. Like, Swaggy and a couple of the other guys are in the room having like a little private conversation. Winston comes in and is like, he makes a little smart comment about them having a little meeting or whatever, basically saying, look, how dumb can you be? Like, this is Big Brother. Like, you know that you shouldn't be, like, sitting in the pantry having a conversation is just like, people are going to automatically think y'all are up to something. Swaggy makes a little smart ass comment because he in his feelings, because he trying to figure out who betrayed him and who betrayed the alliance and all that good stuff. And they trying to figure out who flipped, but like I said, nobody even thought it was Caitlyn, because of her whole, essential oils and yoga and all that good shit. Nobody thought she had it in her, but Caitlyn got some shit with her. We saw that this week. Caitlyn let that little power go to her head. She was acting like she was running shit, and I have the power, and I saved you, and I did this, and I did that. Like, y'all pay attention. She was getting real, getting a little beside herself. That power went to her head a little bit. Bailey and Swaggy, I'm just gonna go and call them Swaggy, because it ain't gonna be much longer than I'm gonna call them Swaggy. So they call themselves Swale. They came up with their own little name for their, and they actually are legit. Like, he says that he really truly has feelings for her, and it's real, and it wasn't no shit for TV, and I believe him. I think he really felt for her. The problem is, when you are with like he was saying, you're with somebody 24 hours a day, you don't have any social media, you don't have any other outlet, it's really like an accelerated relationship. And we see these showmances happen all the time, and it's hard for us on the outside to conceive of how can you get so close to somebody so fast. But when you have no other distractions, and you're just with that person all day, every day, day in and day out, those feelings get accelerated, right? Tyler is the real, like, for real, the person who's running the house is Tyler. If you're paying attention, Tyler, and that's the surfer guy that was trying to act like he wasn't all that smart, and I told y'all from the beginning he was faking that he's smarter than he's letting on. Tyler is actually running the house. He's manipulating Caitlyn. Nobody really knows that he's in any type of, the people on the other side of the house don't really know that he's in an alliance, and they're really playing him short. They really are playing him real short, and he has the advantage that nobody is really checking for him. And then he gets something else later on. I'm gonna get to that in a second. He also has Sam on his side, and we know that Sam has that power app, and he's like, look, with her little power app, we can pretty much backdoor anybody we want. We can save somebody from being evicted, and we can kind of like manipulate the system a little bit. So he is really running shit. They come up with, Caitlyn and Tyler come up with a plan to backdoor Swaggy. It's really Tyler's plan, and Caitlyn's going along with it, because Tyler's putting all this shit in her head about Swaggy is so arrogant, he's getting on everybody's nerves, he's not going to be good for your game if you align yourself with him, blah blah blah. And she's like, yeah, he is bossy, yeah, I am tired of him telling us what to do, yeah, right? So what ends up happening, they come up with this plan that they're going to backdoor Swaggy. They're gonna put Winston and Scotty up as pawns. Scotty is freaking out. Like, he is so worried about, I mean, his hands are shaking when he's talking. Like, he's really freaking out. Winston is like, cool, I'm down with that. Like, cool. Now, in the beginning, Caitlyn was playing it smart. She didn't tell anybody about the backdoor plan, and what she was telling her alliance was that Scotty was the pawn and she was really trying to get Winston out. Well, remember, Swaggy don't like Winston, so he was cool with that. He was like, yeah, get his ass out of here. I don't like you anyway. Yeah. Because once again, it's playing into his ego that he running the house, that he's running something. Like, I wanted Winston gone. Boom, he's gone, right? But then she starts to get a little sloppy, and I don't know if it's her conscience getting to her or just that need to tell somebody what's going on. And she actually starts telling people that Swaggy is really her target, and that's where stuff is going to start getting a little shaky. Now, for the BB app, you know, they go through the whole thing of who's at the top and who's at the bottom. Well, remember, I told y'all last week who was going to be at the bottom. I told y'all it was going to be Rachel. I told y'all it was gonna be Rachel because I didn't even remember who the fuck Rachel was when they were playing the head of household and they called her name. I was like, who was that? I didn't remember nothing about her. I didn't remember where she was from. I didn't remember I didn't remember anything about this Rachel. And I was like, she gonna be at the bottom because if I don't know who the hell she is, mostly everybody else watching the show don't know who she is. And so she was at the bottom, and she picked the power, the Yelp power, and basically what that means is for 24 hours a guy's following her around, yelling in her face, telling her how horrible her game is. It's a playoff of Yelp, YELP, where you could do reviews, because he was like, you get 0 stars, you get no stars, you get 0 stars. And it was actually cute for like 2 minutes, but I could definitely see how it would have irked the fuck out of me. Like, he did it while she was asleep, he did it while she was in the shower, like but it was only for 24 hours, unlike that ham shit that must have lasted like the whole week that Thessel had to eat that damn ham. Speaking of Thessel, Caitlyn is upset because she's like, I don't know how I can betray Thessel. He's my friend. Him and Swaggy are friends, and I know this is going to hurt him. And of course, she's lying to Thessel too, telling Thessel that he's not the target. You know, I mean, that Winston is the target. She's not telling him anything about the whole Swaggy piece, which is smart because him and Swaggy are friends. But again, you claim you're such good friends with Thessel, and she's just like, that's the only thing that made her really hesitate about the whole situation, was her worrying about how it was going to affect Thessel and her relationship with Thessel, really, because I think she really likes him. That's why that shit last week bothered her when she saw him and Haley getting close. That's why she was mad. Okay, I forgot to tell y'all who got the power. All right, so Rachel got the least trending. The person that got the most trending was Tyler. So once again, Tyler gets another power, and his power basically is that if he thinks he's getting ready to be nominated either as a nominee or as a replacement nominee, he can use the power at that time. So basically he can save himself from elimination. So now he can't really be eliminated at this point, and I think it lasts for 2 months. So it lasts damn near the whole game. The only problem, the catch though, is it's if he thinks he's getting ready to be nominated. So it's not based on if he really is. So he could end up wasting it if somebody tells him they're going to nominate him and then they end up changing their mind and he wasn't going to be the nominee anyway. But it's a chance you take, you know, it's a chance you take. But it's good for 2 months. So he's got that in his back pocket for a minute. And right now, he's not really even on anybody's radar. So he's probably got a couple of free weeks. Well, he's probably not even, well, I shouldn't say a couple of free weeks as a big brother. But he's not even on anybody's radar right now. Okay. Swaggy they don't think it's a smart plan to put Scotty up, because they're like, why would you put somebody from our side of the house up as a pawn? And of course they talk about that and they try to talk her out of it, and she's not listening. Caitlyn's like, no, this is what I want to do. That should have been their first clue that some shit was up, because why would you put somebody up from your own alliance? Like, that didn't even make sense. Like, I would have never seen the Swaggy thing coming, but certainly if I were Scotty, I understood him being as nervous as he was, because it just didn't make sense. If you're not working with the other side and this is your alliance and they're the enemy, Winston is in that alliance, but why wouldn't you put somebody else up from their alliance? Like, it made no sense. And everybody was sort of worried about it, but she was assuring everybody that this was the plan to get Winston out, that I guess they just was like, all right, don't make sense, but okay. So then we have Thessel, Rachel, Tyler, and of course the people who were nominated and the head of household. They all played in the HOH. And basically the HOH was one of those competitions where they have to, it was a BB, what was it, houseguest.com. It was like a play on online dating, and they had to take the different they had to take the different players, like old BB players, give them clues, and then figure out where they would want to go on a date, and it's time they have to figure it out. So it went in order of whoever got the least amount of time got the power of veto. Rachel did really well at 5 minutes, because she got picked 5 minutes and 49 seconds, and at that point you had to beat 5 minutes, which that was a really low time. Scotty had 18 minutes, Caitlin 13 minutes, Winston was 20 minutes. Winston, what the fuck were you doing? But it came down to Thessie and Tyler. Oh, that's the other thing. Caitlin was trying to tell Thessie throw the competition when he was picked to play. Well, she picked him to play, and then she was trying to tell him to throw it, like, it won't be good for your game if you keep winning competitions. You should, I'm not saying don't play hard. I'm just saying don't win it, or don't try to win. And Thessie was like, I don't even understand why she's telling me to do that. Like, as the head of household, wouldn't you want your like, if this is your plan to backdoor, does it really matter? Like, if I went the head of household and I saved Scotty, Winston is your target. Why does it matter if I win the head of household? Like, it doesn't make sense. And then he was like, I'm a very competitive person. I'm not throwing a competition. Like, I'm not doing it. So I don't even know what she's talking about. Thessie ended up getting 6 minutes and 22 seconds, so he was out of it altogether. And then it came down to Tyler. Tyler had 5 minutes and 29 seconds. Like I told y'all, Tyler is running this fucking house. So Tyler ended up with the power of veto. So he was able to take Scotty off the block. And they never saw it coming. She put Swaggy up. And right before the power of veto ceremony, she goes to Thessel and she says, I'm getting ready to do something you may not understand, but please know that I still love you and I don't want you to be mad at me. Thessie's done. He's totally done with it. So she put Swaggy up. Now, I missed the first part of last night's episode, so I didn't see the whole reaction, but suffice to say, Swaggy's pissed off, Bailey's pissed off, Thessel's probably pissed off. Like, everybody is blindsided and pissed off and don't understand what she's doing. I'm gonna go back and relook at it and see if there's anything major I missed. But I was out and I kind of came, but I wanted to get these videos dropped. So I kind of came back in when they were actually doing the voting, and Swaggy got voted off. And it's one thing because he was getting on my nerves, but he was good for the game. He was good for the show. So that'll be hard. Of course, everybody now, Bailey, and they're all out for, let me rewind it. But they're all out for blood now with Caitlin. I'll tell you who won head of household in a second. Let me go back real quick. So Caitlin, like I said, she started getting loose lips a little bit. I guess she just started feeling guilty or felt like she had to say something to somebody. And she ends up telling Haley now that she was backdooring Swaggy. Now, Haley, why would you Caitlin, why would you tell Haley? Haley's running back to Thessel. They're in a showmance. She's going to tell Thessel. Thessel's going to tell Swaggy. But, like, that was so stupid. But, to my surprise, she did not tell Thessel. She told Rockstar. And, of course, now Rockstar is like, but she didn't tell Rockstar who. She just told Rockstar that there was something going on and it wasn't going to be, Winston wasn't the target anymore, that she was changing who her target was. So Rockstar is like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we had the plan, we were all in place, everything was good. Like, what are you doing? Why are you rocking the boat? Like, we had this plan. So Caitlin, again, so now you're like a man with no island, because you're not officially with the other alliance, and now your alliance is pissed off at you. So I hope it was worth it. Again, I'm not saying that Swaggy didn't need to go home, but and here's the thing, I'm torn, because one of the biggest things that frustrates me about Big Brother is you see people become head of household and they have an opportunity to make these big moves, and then they chicken out. So from the point of view of the play, I think it was a great play. Like, you totally backdoored him. Nobody saw it coming. It was a flawless execution. Like, from that point of view, bravo. My question, though, is what is your bigger plan? Because you didn't have, like, if this had been a situation where your alliance was behind it, cool. But you've now alienated your alliance and you don't have a backup. Like, you really don't. Like, Tyler, I don't know if Tyler's really with you for the long haul, or he was just manipulating you. Like, I don't, because you're not in his alliance. You are not. And at this point, I don't know if you would get in his alliance, because who would trust you? Like, if you would betray and backdoor your own alliance, I wouldn't want you working with me. I can't trust you. And at this point, you don't even have any power for the next week. So you have nothing to bring to me for the next week, because nobody on the other side is even speaking to you. So you can't be a spy. So I don't know, Caitlin, I don't know what your long-term plan was. But anyway, so the head of household competition was basically a memory thing. They were showing clips. They were doing a spoof off of Apple. It was Pineapple, and they had this whole Steve Jobs character introducing their new products, you know, like he used to do the big product drop, and you know, every year with his little black turtleneck and everything. And you had to remember certain things. And so, last man standing type situation, and Scotty was the last man standing. So Scotty is now head of household. That's going to be very interesting, because remember, you used Scotty as the pawn last week, and Scotty was a member of your alliance. Also, I like the fact that Scotty won, because when the cop left, Scotty was sort of a man without an island as well, because he kind of he kind of alienated himself and had spent most of his time and most of his social game with somebody who got evicted the first week. So you kind of left him hanging a little bit. So I like the fact that Scotty is head of household. So we will see on Sunday who he's going to nominate and what has transpired in the last week. Like I told you guys, I'm not going on Twitter reading my little spoilers and all of that stuff like I normally do. I'm watching this in real time right along with everybody else, and we will see how this breaks down, y'all. Peace.